Hello and welcome to Who Dares Rules. I am your host Mike B. Here we are. It's been spotty content of late, and I apologise. Stuff's going on. I've been off this week with Isaac. Isaac's a handful, so just haven't had the inclination or time to do it. So I haven't. That's as simple as that, really, is all I'm going to say on the matter. Anyway, there's that. I've got obviously change of job coming up. I've still got another couple of weeks off, so I'm hoping to get some content actually done in the coming couple of weeks. Possibly, I've got time. Charlie's dropped me a couple of videos, so I've got a bunch of his stuff to bring out as well. So at least over the next few weeks, I will have some content. I'm hoping to kind of film stuff and bankroll stuff so that depending on what happens with the new job, which is a couple of weeks' time, I should hopefully have a bit more spare time. I won't have daytime time, but I will have spare time. So hopefully I can either still continue doing stuff or at least use the stuff that I've stored to keep a drip feed of stuff to you. That's what's going on. So anyway, the long and short of it is, who knows? Who the fuck knows? Stuff's going to happen and we'll be here and stuff will do. Let's move on. Maybe let's have a think about what I've played. Yes, what have I played? So played. What a bumper crop of stuff. I'll run through. I try not to get too caught up on stuff because some of this is quite interesting for me. It might be for you, but not to turn this into an epic. So straight off the bat, I'm down at my local board game club, which I can now get to on Mondays because I won't be working on Monday lates anymore. Yay. Board in the City, to give them a shout out. I popped down there. It used to be a regular one. It used to go most regularly. It started in the pub. It transferred into the actual board game cafe when it arrived. Anyway, you don't need to know that shit. I went to that. One of said members, John, brought along Descent Journeys in the Dark, which is the new Descent from Fantasy Flight Games, with a particularly hefty price tag. It had a lot of shit went on before it came out. People weren't happy with the aesthetics of it, the art and design and all that sort of stuff that was kicking right off, the cost of it. I had issues with it being classed as the definitive dungeon crawler game when I kind of think, well, is it? So yeah, mainly thing that put me off was the price on it. It uses an app. I don't have an issue with that. However, John, bless his cotton socks, brought his shiny new version along for us to have a play with. What a great thing for him to do. Thank you, John, for that. So we played the first sort of tutorial mission of it. And so let me give first opinions and thoughts. So number one, a lot of my kind of to it had kind of dissipated. It is very quickly, just to run through, it is a third edition to Descent, as we know. It uses an app. The app is used very heavily throughout this. And it seems to take a lot of crib notes from things like Journeys in the Dark, Lord of the Rings game they did. Some of the stuff they've done with Mash's Madness, and just generally just brought some quality life adjustments in. And the app is pretty damn fucking cool what it does. It's tracking pretty much everything. All you're doing essentially is you have in front of you your character card, maybe some cards of equipment you have. You will roll some dice to do with attacking and fighting and stuff like that, or trying to accomplish things. Much like Journeys in Middle-earth, there's little questy bits you can do, and you're rolling dice to kind of compare against a total. So anyway, yes, it does all that. It's all doing that. I'd quite like it's got the option that you can click on things to get line of sight of things. It's kind of cool. I do like how that works. It's very smooth. And it's doing all of the DMing stuff around there. It's some clever little mechanics going on. You get an exhaust system where you take tokens of exhaustion until you basically max out the cards you've got in front of you, where you then have to flip them to do like a refresh, almost like that miss a turn thing. So it's kind of a nice little, there is some tactics to that of what, I can max this to 3 or 2 or whatever, and the weapons are double-sided, so they have different things. You have close attack or range attack on them when you flip them. So it's very much, as a player, at least you've got some agency, you're doing some stuff there. I kind of like that there is an economy of stuff going on that you're doing. That means you are doing some strategy in regards of what cards you have in your outs to be able to do stuff on the main board. And I can only imagine that's going to get a bit more complex and more interesting when more cards come into that hand in front of you, and there definitely is going to be some of that. So yes, that's kind of cool. I like that, and that's how it's kind of working. You basically take your turns in any order you want. Anyone can do what they want. Once everyone's tapped out, they've exhausted or whatever, then you get 2 actions. You get 3 actions, but one of them has to be a move, And like Mansion Madness, you can break up a movement to do something else. So look at something or attack something or whatever. So all of that, if you've played Journeys to Middle-earth or you've played Mansion Madness, a lot of the stuff from that is in the app here with the fighting. You roll the dice, put your totals in. All that is just the same, but kind of smoothed out a bit nicer. There's some really just nice quality of life stuff in there, like the miniatures, which I must stop here to say the miniatures. I'd heard people saying the miniatures are very good. I will say these are very good. These are comparable to things like Corminia, not really. And in fact, in some ways, even maybe some more detailed. They're really nice, detailed, kind of cool miniatures with a real, you can see some of this stuff has been built rather than most FFG stuff or most sort of kind of mass market stuff lacks that detail, and it's kind of rudimentary. They've come a long way, but there's a big world of difference from most standard FFG or standard ball game miniature components versus a Kickstarter one. However, I will say that these are comparable. They're really nice, really good. They've got little slots underneath. You can pop the little plastic chit in there to basically identify them in regards to what app is activating what miniature. It's very cool. So yes, the miniatures are really good. The 3D terrain, which takes up a lot of the box, is cool. It kind of evokes that Hero Quest vibe with like the cardboard bookcases and stuff. What I do like is you get kind of 2 or 3 tier dungeons, so you can be fighting on different levels and things. And all that, it's cool. And I do get it. Once it's all out on the table and you're playing it, you get that aesthetic appeal, you get that toy quality value of it. And it's great. It's doing wonderful things in regards to that. And it is definitely, I will take any kind of issue I had with it beforehand to say, it does look gorgeous and it plays quite well. And it's smooth, and the app is just taking all that nonsense out. You've still got the choices of what you're doing. Everyone can work as that party. It just felt, the difficulty level on that first mission felt just, enough risk reward type level on it. There's obviously a lot I don't know from the app yet. There's stuff coming on later on where you get crafting material and stuff. When we're opening chests and things, a lot of stuff's just going into the pot, which we're going to be able to use to craft equipment and materials later on, which is kind of cool. We didn't touch on that when we played. We just kind of completed the first sort of mission, got to a bit of story and kind of saved ourselves there. Now, the only thing I would say on it, Terranoff, I've generally never been a huge fan of Terranoff. The sense Terranoff world is very vanilla. It's a fantasy, generic-y fantasy stuff. They've tried, I think, to give it some legs with the new art and design on the characters, which was initially looked a bit ugly. Actually, it's not thrown me off too much when playing it. It's kind of cool. I get that. It's the story. It's kind of very sort of rudimentary story. There's not a lot of voiceover in the app, which seems a missed trick to a point. That we were playing in the cafe, so you can hear so much. But yeah, the actual storyline doesn't seem to really grab me. But then Terranoff never grabbed me. So if the only failing I would say at this point in time is your engagement level into that campaign, into the story. And for me, at that side, is like, yeah, whatever. I wasn't, we were all voicing the characters, but to be honest with you, all kind of is very generic-y sort of, we go here and we fight this, and the Book of Wonderment should be opened, and that stuff. Nothing particularly thrilling. But, there you go. That's it. So anyway, I will wrap it up there. If you are currently sat on a wad of cash and you've been on the fence in regarding to this game, and it's one you wanted pushing, I would say, if you're cool with the app, everything about it is very cool. It seems quite a sizable campaign. If I had the money burning a hole in my pocket, I might be tempted. I would, I've got a lot of campaign stuff either unplayed, unfinished, or coming. So there's another reason why I'm like, ugh, and I'm going to get to play it. At least, hopefully, I'll get to play through some, if not all of the rest of the campaign on the board of the city, which would be kind of cool. And another thing I do think is kind of cool is you can drop kind of characters in and out. It saves off stuff, but you can pick different. You pick your 4 heroes or whatever and go in, and they don't have to be the same 4 heroes every time. I think Journeys to Middle-earth does something similar. So you could, in theory, have players dropping in and out of the campaign, which is kind of cool. So there you go. That's Descent: Journeys in the Dark. To be honest with you, quite impressed. It looks kind of cool. Only played the one game of it, but the aesthetics, toy value, the app, everything is very cool. And I fair dues to FFG. They've done a pretty good job from what I can see so far. Just that price. Ooh, stings. Bit stings. Right, what else we played? Night Cage. We have a couple of planes of that. The first game we played of it, we won. Second game, we terrible. Real quick, it's kind of Subterra-ish. You're going, climbing, you're crawling through, toll laying, representing you crawling through a labyrinth dungeon to try and find an exit, find keys for each of the characters, get to the exit and get out. And it's kind of this isometrical kind of abstract puzzle, but with a really gorgeous theme over the top of it. And I love the aesthetics of it and the play of it. I've not played the more difficult levels of it. Really happy with Night Cage. It's done exactly what I wanted to do, which I wanted that feel of that sub-terror-ish thing, which I liked, but it was a bit overcomplicated, didn't quite work. Whereas this simplified rule set, kind of a bit Tsuru-ish. Just really good fun. I love the aesthetics of it. It's really gorgeous. Theme's great, and the gameplay's really fun. I think the difficulty level stuff you can throw in will make it fucking ridiculously hard. But yeah, really digging on that. King's Dilemma, not to go massively into that, we actually finished the campaign of King's Dilemma the other night. It ended carnage. We had done bad things, the kingdom, and it didn't get any better. I'd be very vague, because if you do get to play this, I don't want to ruin anything. And it is, I will say, the story was great. I love how it's adapted. What I want to do is sit down and actually look at the cards that we haven't played out and just see where the story could have gone, because we're about a 50-50 split between good and bad shit in the game we played. The ending was suitably epic and was a nice surprise. I enjoyed that because the game was really good fun. I really enjoyed that storytelling quality of it, that you as the advisor, as the king, and there's lots of stakes and lots of feeling of repercussion to what we did or didn't do right. And it was fun. I enjoyed it. I thought it was really good fun. It's not cheap for a game that you are only ever going to play the once. And this bit downside is there's nothing kind of, you could pop the board on the wall, because there's really not much to show off at the end of it, because it's all kind of cards and stuff. So the journey is the thing in this, and it's a fantastic, really good journey. If you're into that Game of Thrones vibe, fantasy sort of, you as court advisors, it nailed all of that really great. And if you've got a group of 4 or 5 of you going to play it, maybe throw in 10-15 quid each and buy it amongst you. That might be a cheap alternative to it. I did enjoy it. Really good, really solid. I'm looking forward to the follow-up that is coming next year, I think. Tapestry, we played that. I still enjoy Tapestry, though it's the worst game I've had of Tapestry since I've been playing it. Stone Mountain Games is a civish game, very kind of, the theme is there if you kind of squinted it, but it's kind of this engine building game. If you kind of that, I like. There's something about the game when the whole engine building thing that you're doing and the choices you're making just really just tickles my particular funny good shit in the brain. I don't know, it's something about it. I like it. I get that crack-like feel of, just one more go of it. And you get random civs, and there's all random. It's very random, and it's maybe a bit broken, and I love all of that for it. Oh, it's pointy edges and stuff. I like what it's doing. And it looks gorgeous on the table, clearly, because it's a Stone Mountain game. So we played that with the expansion. I had a race, can't remember what they were called now, the Builders or something. I was trying to build an ancient wonder. And I just felt I was struggling to play catch up the entire game. I did eventually come in second somehow. So, the balancing's still about there. But yeah, really enjoyed Tapestry. I still enjoy Tapestry. It's my favourite Stone Mountain game with the expansion. And they're doing another expansion. So cool, that'd be nice. We played Tinner's Trail, which is the newest one from Alley Cat Games. Ben had backed it on Kickstarter. It's set in Cornwall, of you mining tin and stuff and things and eating pasties. And it's kind of this, it's Martin Wallace design, which I do like a bit of Martin Wallace. It usually brings some good stuff. It's got a bit of blind bidding stuff going on, auctioning for bits of land, and then they generate cubes, and you can use them to do other stuff. It's a nice mix of Martin Wallace-y design things with a little bit of random and some dice in there and some stuff. I know it's been tweaked by Alley Cat. There's 2 expansions we didn't use. On the whole, the game was marred because Ben missed a rule, essentially. So it kind of was unbalanced. It was fun-ish. It's very hard to make a decision on this because it was quite a significant rule miss that would have probably made a big difference to the strategy and how the game played out. As I stand, it's okay. I don't think it's one of Wallace's stronger designs. It was entertaining, aesthetically looked all right. Though I would say the board could have been bigger because the cubes go on and then you're kind of hiding, they're kind of spilling over the edge. You get a lot of cubes on. So it just seemed that weird choice. But everything else looks kind of aesthetically kind of cool. And it's a solid enough game. I don't think it's anything astounding wise in that you're a hybrid type stuff. It's a bit Nusford-y in it, but I mean, if you own those type of games, I don't think this is necessarily doing anything new or innovative. It's just kind of a solid sort of Euro game with a calm-ish theme. But yeah, it's all right. It's okay. I will play again to have maybe a better opinion of it, but it was okay. But it kind of sits into that category of okay, well, it's cool, it's nice, but there's all of this around it that I play, which still kind of the same thing. So it's not in my world. I need it. Then I played Tiny Epic Dinos. Actually, I played that at the City, Board in the City again with Graham's copy of that. Which is kind of cool. It's kind of it's Dinosaur World or Dinosaur Park or whatever the fucking thing's called, as a Tiny Epic game. From the record of the Tiny Epic games I've played, the only one I liked up to now and enjoyed was Galaxies. I found the West one was terrible. I think Quest was pretty shit, if I remember rightly. I can't remember. None of the others have really grabbed me, and it's gone off my radar, to be honest with you. Epic Dinos actually was quite good fun. It did give you that Jurassic Parky feel in a much shorter time, about 40 minutes or so I think we played that in. And it's all right, it's okay. I got Dinosaur Island, which, to be fair, this probably did just about as effective a job of that in the small boxes. Probably Island does. I no need another one, but I'd be honest with you, if you're on the fence of buying one of the more expensive ones, actually this is pretty good. If that's what you want as a fix, it was quite an interesting puzzle, quite enjoyed it. Not bad. Right. Yeah, that's it. I'm exhausted. That's what we played. I did play some other stuff. That's the main thing of all the stuff played. Pick from those bones what you will. I'm going to get a drink. I'm parched. Done a lot of talking. See you in a minute. Here is the news. Board game news, Prospero Hall, just released in the States. They did the Alien Fate of the Nostromo, which is getting a bit of buzz. They've also done a Gargoyles game, I think, which is based off the old Disney animated show, which is on Disney Plus. Worth a watch if you've not watched it. They've announced a fucking Rocketeer game. The Rocketeer, one of my favourite movies from the 90s. It was kind of, Disney put it out. It kind of fell off the radar very quickly. It's got Timothy Dalton as a Nazi agent and Zeppelins, and it's got that kind of Indiana Jonesy vibe, kind of. Jennifer Connelly's in it. There's good cast in this thing, and it's kind of throwback to those sort of 1940s serial sort of stuff, that Rocketeer, the Rocket Men type stuff, and it's really well done. Joe Johnston directed it. Guy did the Captain America, the first one when it was set in the war. So the similar vibes to that you can see why he was picked. And it really does evoke that period of time. It's a fun, enjoyable, really well. Special effects have really still held up really well. You've got the Rocketeer character. All of that's great. So a 2-player ball game of it. Sadly, it's only a 2-player, and I struggle to get 2 players, but I'm very tempted because I love the Art Deco aesthetics that looks like this game's got. And it's the fucking Rocketeer. That's great. If you've never seen the Rocketeer, if you've got Disney Plus, it's on that. Definitely go and hunt it down and watch it, because it's a really cracking, kind of family-friendly, Indiana Jonesy-ish sort of feel of that good old B-movie, that old sort of 1940s serials feel to it. It's really good. And sadly kind of never really kind of found its thing. It's based on a graphic novel by Dave Stevens as well. Anyway, there's that. So I'm excited about that. I'm definitely perked up in anticipation. I do love Prospero Hall at the moment. They're doing some really good stuff, getting some really good licensed stuff. And just kind of churning out. Jaws we've had The Goonies, which I've not yet played actually. I'm waiting for Karate Kid, because once Karate Kid's announced, then finally I can get the wife to a board game, because she fucking loves Karate Kid. And apparently the villain in the third movie is Mike Barnes. How random is that? Maybe she married me because of that. Maybe she likes the bad boy. Maybe not. So there's that. Kickstarter, just a quick one. Senjutsu is coming from Stone Sword Games. It comes very highly recommended by Mark Dainty from the Solo Board Game channel, whose name of his channel has totally escaped me. Not Board Gaming. He's well worth a look at. He's an affable chap. I've not met him in the flesh. Hopefully at some con soon we will. But he's generally, as a man of advancing years like myself, just sits there and gives it how it is. He's a northerner as well, so you get no bullshit with that. But he's done some really good stuff. It's all solo playthrough stuff, all solo games. It's not something I get to play a lot, but hopefully I will do. I've got some time coming up. But yeah, really worth a watch because he's just his channel's grown leaps and bounds since he brought it out after mine, and it's done much better than me. Not anyway. Fucking. But no, if you're going to go and give a look at his stuff, because he's really good, because he's done some good stuff, and he did a review of this Senjutsu, which I'm undoubtedly pronouncing terribly wrong. It's a UK publisher, UK company. I'm hoping to get my hands on a review copy of it at some point, whether it'll be during the Kickstarter or after, I don't know. But it sounds cool. It's the samurai battles with like a really kind of cool card play to each of them. It's like that arena battle with like a bit Wildlands maybe, or they did the Helter Skelter, the Judge Dredd one. That sort of, or Unmatched even. I think it's kind of some of that. I like the idea of those fight games where you play cards out and fight with tactical movement. Spartacus was great for that. Not really so much card play, but just that arena fighty stuff. Stabby. So it sounds cool. It sounds very cool. I like the aesthetics of what I've seen of it. Hopefully, maybe I can get my hands on a copy to play. That'd be nice. And I can give you my actual thoughts and opinions on that. But that sends you to coming soon to Kickstarter. I don't think I've got the date, so if I've got it, I don't know it now. Other Kickstarter things is Kickstarter's Lax Racks, a utility for your Kallax shelves. It looks like the single most pointless Kickstarter in the history of things. People are backing it. It's essentially this little sticky blocks that you put inside your Kallax to put dowel rods on to be able to stack your Kallax games and your thing. Kind of like what I'm doing now, without spending 20, 30 quid a pop per cube or whatever to do it. But yeah, so you could do what I do, or you can spend money if you're stupid, and still do that, but with the added advantage that you could slide a game out, because it's a bit of it's a bit much to ask to take a game off and then take one out. I can see where people are going with this. You could send me money if you like, and I will give you fuck all as well, or something useless. I can probably come up with something useless I can send you for money. Just saying, go to the Patreonize us, and I'll send you something useless you don't need for your Kallax shelf. Or some air. I don't know. Poo in a box. Anyway, there's that. The Lax Racks, if you've got money to burn, go and have a look at that. And there may be 3D printable versions of the same stuff, just saying. And the news broke this week is Broken Token do lovely wooden veneered inserts and ball game accessories and all that. Just come to light in the last week or so that the CEO of said company is a nonce. So you maybe not want to put any more money into that, because he's put out an announcement which has done little to alleviate my concerns in regarding to his proclivities towards sexual assault. So probably best just backing away from that one. Just have burnings. Maybe we should have Nazi-like burnings of Broken Token items in the streets. Burn them, fuck them. So, that's happened anyway, and I have no reason to believe that isn't happened. Certainly his non-apology announcement, really, no. Oh, wrong on many levels. So that happened. Go and Folded Space. Really nice. Nice inserts. Cheap. More reasonable. I've only got one. I'm not a big insert fan, to be honest. But and I've missed the insert joke I could have thrown in there because it would have been in bad taste. But yeah, there we go. There's that. Folded Space. Go do that. Much more reasonable. Don't sexually assault people, which is kind of a bonus, I feel. Or you can go for the Jimmy Savile of get ball game inserts. Whatever takes your fancy. I think we've paused too long on this anyway before I get sued or something. So that's that. That's the news. There's probably other news, but none of it has risen to the top of the particular toilet bowl near me. So I've not felt the urge to, I'm going to say pluck that turd out, but let's not do that. So what else is going on, or what have I done, or what have I been watching, what? I've been at the Dennis Villeneuve thing at the moment, actually. I watched Prisoners, the movie. It's on Netflix. It's one that I've been meant to watch for ages. It's got Hugh Jackman in it, Jake Gyllenhaal, and a bunch of other pretty good cast, to do with an adoption. No, that would have been a different movie. Hugh Jackman's daughter is abducted, and it's this whole, he takes revenge on the person they believe has done it, and it's this whole sort of kind of cool, it's a good couple of hours long thriller thing, and Jackman's brilliant in it. In fact, everyone's pretty good in it, but how it kind of turns into this much more of the story, and he's taking his vengeance against the person he believes has wronged him and all this sort of stuff. Wife typed out 2/3 through because she was just too traumatised by the whole thing, and subsequently watched the end of it when I told her how it ended. But yeah, really good. So that was really cool, and I'm I regret leaving that off my watch list for a while. I watched his other movie, The Mexican Cartel's Emily Blunt. Gone out of my brain. It begins with an S. I'm going to say Sirocco, but it's not Sirocco. Anyway, that movie. I watched that a while ago. It kind of was all right. I watched it again, and it was actually much more enjoyable. Really enjoyed that. And it's got Benicio del Toro in it, who's cracking anyway, most stuff he's done. Watch The Way of the Gun if you get a chance as well. He's in that brilliant movie. But yeah, that was really good fun. So watch those. Finished Aliens Phalanx. Finished that the other day. That was good. Really enjoyed that. Entertaining, good different slant on it. I covered it, I think, this late on a week. But yeah, it comes recommended. Worth a look. Picked up the entirety of Battlestar Galactica at the car boot sale the other day for £2. It's on DVD. But yeah, all of that. So I'm going to maybe dig through that pretty soon. That's it. I don't know. There's some other stuff maybe. I was watching the making of Alien was on Channel 4 the other day. Film 4 last night. I haven't watched it all, watched about halfway through. It's actually been quite entertaining. I don't think it's given us any new perspective, but it's cool, always cool to watch just a little bit. It's more into O'Bannon's creative writing process of it, and there's some maybe stretches towards its links to other mythical things. Take that as you will, but it's just enjoying that from a bit more of a highbrow look into Alien, which is a classic, great, cracking movie. That is it, I feel. I'm not going to go. I could be picking at the bones of other shit, and I don't really know, so I'll be rambling for rambling's sake. But there we go. That's what I've done. So in the coming week, I'm going to be getting a bunch of videos done. Hopefully, I've already filmed some stuff. I've got some more stuff to review and film, other stuff. I'm going to try and get as much done, as I say, so that I've got a bit in the back pocket to kind of eke it out over the next couple of months. Because I really don't know how the change of work is going to go with me. Should be cool. Shouldn't really disrupt us too much, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Hopefully, I've got a weekend of board gaming. I know on Friday I'm going to play something. I'm trying to get Ben to bring Oath so we can play Oath, but he hadn't read the rules last time. And clearly, him not reading rules, as we saw by the Tinnis Trail disaster, is probably not good. So we'll see how that pans out. We'll see what I end up with. And Sunday is only me and Robbie, so I'm quite fancying it. Maybe either 2-player Ankh or maybe. Hopefully we'll play a game of Rebellion, Star Wars Rebellion, because that is a 2-player game. I haven't played that for a while, and it's Star Wars Rebellion. All that shit. Anyway, have a great week. I will be back at some point in the next week or so with videos. There's some more Charlie stuff to drop as well. I have a bit of time to myself to sort shit out. So all of that's going to be happening at some capacity at some point in the not too distant future. And for the time being, have fun, continue playing games, be safe out there, and I'll catch up with you very soon. Oh, I might get to play more Descent on Monday. How exciting. Anyway, ta-da. See you soon. Bye-bye.